The Anarchist as Outlaw by Apio Ludd, published on C4SS on October 28, 2013. The Anarchist as Outlaw was written by Apio Ludd and published in his My Own, Self-Ownership and Self-Creation Against All Authority, number 10, October 2013. We are honored to have Apio Ludd's permission to feature it on C4SS. When I say I am an anarchist, I simply mean that, to the extent that I have the power, I refuse to let anyone or anything dominate me. In other words, I refuse to accept the power of any authority, any institution, any existing or would-be ruler, any ruler, etc. over me. This is why I also refuse to choose between potential rulers and rules. Doing so would express a willingness to give up my power to create my life, a willingness to surrender this power to others, and I am not willing to do this. I am also not willing to even temporarily hand my power over to any authority or institution to act for me. This is why I won't turn to cops or courts to deal with any problem or conflict in my life. To the extent of my power, I avoid dealing with these institutions altogether. When I say I am an outlaw, I don't mean that I am some great, heroic bandit. Such a claim would make my friends laugh their asses off. I mean simply that, to the extent of my power, I live illegally, that is, without regard for the law. I don't let the law determine my choices and my actions. Rather, I use all my powers, my skills, my tools, my wits, my relationships, to create my life on my own terms without getting caught. This illegality reinforces my refusal to ever voluntarily deal with cops or courts. I speak of illegality and not illegalism, not because I am opposed to illegalism, but because I want to be precise. Originally, the term illegalism had a specific meaning. An illegalist was an anarchist who chose to use illegal means as the way to make her living, rather than begging or taking a job. So, illegalism referred specifically to robbery, burglary, theft, counterfeiting, etc., not to propaganda of the deed, attentat, and the like, nor to such things as the refusal of military services, taxes, etc. Footnote: this practice is also called reprise individuelle, individual reappropriation. The original debates over illegalism were therefore not about whether anarchists should take illegal actions, it was assumed that all anarchists did, but about whether individual reappropriation was a legitimate tactic. And for an egoist, this is not even a question. The only question is, what can I get away with? In any case, anarchists, and for that matter all free-spirited, unsubmissive individuals, will inevitably break laws. When laws exist, my choice to live on my own terms will make me an outlaw, because I will ignore law except as an obstacle to avoid. A person could look upon these refusals, not voting, not turning to the cops, not using the courts, etc., as a set of principles, an ethic, that I choose to live by. But I won't let them become a power over me because I want them to remain my principles, my ethic. So I don't set them as rules to follow, but choose them in each moment, because I consider them to be the tools best suited for creating my life as I see fit. I want to live my life on my own terms, immediately, here and now, not put it off to a future that is always a fiction. And every time I give my power over to another, I lose my life here and now, which is to say more simple, I lose my life. So for me, this so-called set of principles, this so-called ethic, is simply my practice of making my life my own, here and now. This is the third part of a larger piece entitled Nobody Owes No One Nothing, Amoral Egoism as an Anarchist Outlaw Ethic. My Own is a publication of anarchist, egoist, individualist ideas, literature, and analysis coming from an explicitly anti-capitalist, non-market, egoist perspective, aimed at encouraging the interweaving of individual insurrections against all forms of authority, domination, and enforcement of conformity. My Own is available on a basis of mutuality. If you want to receive it, show that you're aware of the effort and expense, postage and printing. I put into it by sending me something that compensates for that. Send your emails at my_own@riseup.net. You've been listening to The Anarchist as Outlaw, written by Apio Ludd and published on C4SS on October 28, 2013. You've been listening to Feed 44, which is a project of C4SS, otherwise known as the Center for a Stateless Society. Learn more at c4ss.org.